Hey y'all, so welcome to Louder with Lou. It's Lou. So I just want to say thank you for even giving me the chance to listen to me and just to see what I have to say. So I'm starting off with who I am. I am Lou, and I am from Dallas, Texas. I was born and raised here. I come from a family where it's all about learning, education, school. So my parents came to the U.S. Trying to live the American dream. And for them, I am so thankful because this is why I am here and I am able to actually live my dream. So with them, it's always been about school, education. But honestly, I don't think it's for everybody. Exhibit A, me. So all my siblings have graduated from a university, went to school, everything. They did the whole shebang. Me, I didn't. So I'm starting off with after I graduated high school. High school, I ended up going to college. And in college, I actually went for a year and a half. And I decided just to do my basics just because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I actually never finished them. I would love to finish them one day just to say that I did go to college. But we'll see. We'll see about that. So during this whole time I am going to college, I am actually working too. And I am working at a hospital. And for some reason, I was like, you know what? Maybe this will bring me out to wanting to do something in the medical field. I worked there for about 2 years and I realized it wasn't for me. Nurses, doctors, y'all do so much. And that's just something I couldn't do. But I realized, thank God, I realized soon enough that this isn't for me. And this is when I started complaining to my friend. My very close friend, I started complaining to her and I was like, you know what, like, this isn't for me. The college life and working from 9 to 5, which isn't bad, but it just isn't for me. I didn't like the environment and I kept telling her, like, I want to do something else. I don't know what to do. And then she started telling me, like, why don't you start doing lashes? And I was like, lashes myself? Like, why would I do that? I don't like the beauty industry. What am I doing? And she was like, well, I mean, just give it a try. Like, you don't have to commit to it. She's like, I'll teach you. I'll tell you what to buy. And from then, you could decide if you want to or not. And at least you didn't spend thousands of dollars investing into this and realizing at the very end, like, oh, I spent all this time and money. So I was like, you know what? Let me talk about it with my parents, my boyfriend, just to see what they think. I started talking about it with my boyfriend. My boyfriend was all for it. He was very supportive since the beginning. And honestly, I feel like having a support system is awesome, especially when starting your own business or in personal life, just because it gives you more of a courage to actually do something and you don't feel like everybody's against you. So whenever I spoke to my parents next, they were like, their first thing was to say was, what about school? You're in college. You need to go to class. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, I didn't think they were going to react like that. But honestly, I should have known. It's all about school with them. So I was like, well, I was like, you know, I could give it a try. And then if it doesn't work, like, it doesn't work. And they were like, no, like, you have so much homework. You need to focus in that. And then what about your job at the hospital? And that's when I was like, okay, I'm just going to listen to my parents. Time went on, maybe like a few weeks. And I was like, I'm tired of working here. I'm tired of going to school every day. I'd get up some days and I'd tell my mom, oh, they canceled class today. They did not cancel class, but she was like, oh my gosh, they cancel class a lot, but whatever. That's how I went by school. After that, it just kept getting tiring to, do something I didn't want to do. And honestly, I would just pass my classes to the point where it would get me by. So I wasn't even trying to do my best. And honestly, you should do your best in whatever you're doing and not just pass by it. So then after that, I ended up telling my friend, I was like, you know what? Let's do this. And I told my parents, like, I'm going to try it. I'm still going to go to school. I'll still do my work. I'll work at the hospital. And lashes is just a part-time thing, just to give it a try. And at the end, they really had no choice but just to be like, okay, like, if that's what you want to do, like, we're okay with it as long as you still focus in school. I was like, okay. Me knowing, like, I knew I wasn't going to focus in school. I was just like, this is just so I can tell them, like, let me do lashes. So then I ended up telling my friend, like, okay, let's do this. And she literally told me everything, like what to buy. And I did not make a lot of money when I was in school because obviously I'm working part-time and then full-time in school. So I only had like about $500 to spend on lash products. And that's literally all it took for me to start my business, $500. That's all I had. And I bought everything through Amazon. It wasn't anything fancy. It was just a bed. Literally, I used my couch as my chair. And my lash bed, I would lay it out in the living room. And that's where I started lashing. My first model was actually my mom. And I am very thankful for that. Anybody that let me lash you in the beginning, I am sorry you didn't have the best work. But thank you. I appreciate it for all those girls that let me practice on them. I practiced for like about maybe 2 months. I would lash somebody almost every day, and it would be in the living room. And that's when I was like, you know what? Like, I can't be lashing from a living room. Like, I mean, it can only get you so far. So then that's when I was telling my mom, I was like, you know what? I think I want to expand. I want to go get a suite or something. Keep in mind, like, during this whole time, I'm still going to school, working at the hospital, and this is just like a side gig. But little by little, I started slacking in school, and I stopped doing my homework. I stopped turning in things, and it just started getting really stressful just because I knew I had to pass all of my classes and still do lashes and still work. So I felt like I was falling into like a deep depression, and I would always have like these anxiety attacks, especially whenever I felt stressed, having to do so much work and keep it all together and make it seem like everything was okay. And so during this time, I'm telling my mom, like, I'm trying to get my things together. I'm telling her, like, I want to get a suite. And that's when my mom tells me, like, hey, like, what if your dad makes you a room here, and then you can just lash from there, and that way you're not spending so much money. And I was like, you know what? Let's do that. My dad ends up making me a lash room right beside our house. And that's where I started lashing this room, like 10 by 10 feet. And that's it. So I think it's like 100 square feet. Yes, something like that. But yes, so that's where I started lashing from. So it got a little bit more professional, I guess you could say. But that's just where I was lashing from. And I remember before getting every client, like a new client that actually booked with me, like through my booking site, I would get so nervous. I would prep like an hour before that client got there because I was super scared, period. I was scared and nervous and just like somebody is actually coming to me to do their lashes. And I've always been like a very shy person. So honestly, that I'm doing all of this, it's a very, very breathtaking for me because I've come a long way. And during this whole time, while I'm lashing, I'm still feeling really stressed because I have the way of like, I need to get my shit together with school and work. And now that I'm feeling really stressed, that's when I feel like I'm falling into like a deep depression. And long story short, I ended up trying to commit suicide, and that it didn't work out, obviously, because I'm here. I don't mean to laugh about it. It's just a way of the way I work with myself. But yes, I fell into a deep depression. I ended up being hospitalized, and I was hospitalized for about 1 to 2 weeks. And that literally changed my life. It changed my life completely to the point where, like, till this day, like, I remember, like, if it was yesterday, and this happened like about 3-4 years ago, and it's become a part of me that will never leave, just because it taught me so much. And just communicating with other people that actually have the same problems as me, and just realizing that I'm not alone, and having a support system is everything. So during this time, when everything went down and I'm hospitalized, the only thing I could think about was my clients. The whole time I was like, I need to go back to work. I need to do my clients' lashes. What are they going to say? And when I was hospitalized, they actually take your phone away. So it wasn't like, hey, let me grab my phone right now and let me text them like, hey, girl, can I reschedule you? No, I could not do that. So I actually told my sister, like, hey, can I use your phone so I can log into my booking site and contact everybody, letting them know, like, I'm going to be gone for like a week or two. So she let me do that. And that was literally the first thing I did because I was so worried. And I think in that moment, that's when I actually realized, like, wow, I don't think I've ever cared about a job so much. And this is actually for me. The most saddest, scariest part of my life was actually even the happiest part of my life. So many things were changing. So many things were going on in my head. But at the end, all I could think about was my clients. And I was like, they need to know what's going on. I won't be able to see them. And after that, so it's like I took a 2 week off, I guess. And coming back was so different. When I came back, it just felt so weird. In a way, I mean, I've never been to jail, but it just felt like a nice jail. That's what it felt like when I was in there. Weird way to put it, but very opening. And coming back, I was ready to lash. I was ready to get back my clients and stuff. And that's when I realized, like, I need to speak up for myself. And I ended up telling my parents, like, I'm not going back to school. I am dropping out and I am going to do what I want to do. I know they wish I was still in school, or in that moment, they at least wish that. And when I told them, I was very scared, but I was so for sure that this is what I wanted to do. Lashes was my thing. Never did I ever doubt it. At first, it was just kind of trying it out, but, I ended up really loving it. And it wasn't just for the money. I feel like at first I kind of was in it for the money, but realizing how much I liked it, I just fell in love with it. So now that my parents are okay with it, and I just feel better within me. I already felt better. And that's when I actually started taking medication. So I am actually on antidepressants, medication I take every day. Until this day, I still am. And with this medication has helped me out so much, and also helped me out with not being so shy anymore. I know medications isn't always a problem, but they can be a problem for a while. And meanwhile, at least it got me out of my comfort zone. So I am very thankful. I feel like I don't regret anything I've gone through or I had to go through, because this is why, like, I'm here. I'm here in this moment, and everything happens for a reason. So now that my parents, like, have accepted me and everything, and I'm doing good with my health, that's when I'm like, okay, I want to quit my hospital job. That's the next thing for me now. And I never once was scared about, am I going to make enough money? Am I going to be able to support myself? I guess the good thing is that I live with my parents and I don't pay rent, which is amazing. But still, I was never scared. So I am very proud of myself for doing that, and so thankful that I can count on my parents, rely on them if anything. But I wasn't scared, and I think I like the thrill of it, just being able to just go for it. And honestly, you need to just go for it, because if not, you don't want to look back and then realize damn, I should have done it. What if I would have done this? And I'm glad the way I did it. I ended up putting my 2 weeks at the hospital job, and I was there only for 2 weeks, and then I left, and that was it. I never looked back. And ever since then, I have been doing lashes. And during this time, I'm trying to see how I can grow. And I know so many of y'all ask me, how did I grow so fast in 3 years? How did I get so many followers, getting on waiting lists to see me and things like that? And honestly, it's all about the way you promote yourself. It's all about how, what clients do you want? You want to make sure you are choosing the type of clientele you want. For example, if you want clients that want volume sets, you need to make sure that you are posting more of your volume sets. If you want of a clean look, you need to make sure you're posting those type of pictures. I feel like with social media, it's such an amazing types of platforms that we actually have, and you need to take advantage of it because it's free. It's literally free. It's all about what you make it. And with me, it was all about posting. You post good pictures, people are always watching, no matter what. You think nobody's watching? Trust me, somebody is. People are super nosy. I'm super nosy as well too. So I'm not going to lie about that. So trust me, people are always watching. It's all about the way you post. You need to make sure that your pictures are clean. You have the perfect lighting. So it's good to really take that time into your full sets. Block off extra 5-10 minutes just to take pictures. Don't be in a rush. Trust me, clients love when you take pictures of them, because then that boosts their confidence and they're like, oh my gosh, she wanted to take a picture of me. So it's yes, my work is good. So to me, it's all about posting, and post every day. Don't think you're being annoying. It's obviously a page for your business. So if somebody's following you, it means because they're following you for that reason. So since I'm all about lashes, that's all I would post. And I would post every day. And honestly, that's how I grew my clientele and just referrals. Think about every client as it's your last set. Just give it all you got. That's because literally you don't know who that person knows. So it's always a good way to network. Also, another thing I would do is reach out to people on Instagram. For example, let's say right now I'm only at 500 followers, but you want to get more following. Reach out to your local influencers. Look up hashtags on Instagram like Dallas influencer, Dallas blogger, Dallas hairstylist, things like that. And if you see that they have maybe 10K followers, 30 or 50, who knows, reach out to them. Even if you think they won't come to you, still reach out to them. What's the worst thing that can happen? Literally them telling you no. That's it. And trust me, you're going to get no's. And that's okay. You just keep going on to the next one, because trust me, out of those 10 people you reach out to, you're at least going to get one yes. And that's the yes that counts. And you need to make it count when they come to you. So reach out to 20 girls, 50 girls, but trust me, at least one will say yes. And with them, you could do a collaboration, and I would do a lot of that. So with a lot of Dallas influencers, I would give them a set, and all they would have to do was pretty much tip me. That's it. And they would post me. They would post me on their stories, and then that's how I just started getting more followers. And honestly, since like I've said, people are nosy. They want to see the face behind this Instagram page. So always show your page. Say who you are. People want to know. Don't be shy about it. And I know I said I was shy, but I mean, social media is very different. I am not shy on social media, but that's because I'm hiding behind a screen. So it's much easier. So just be yourself. Don't compare yourself. Don't look at other lash pages or any other business pages and compare yourself when they've been doing it for 3 years and you barely started. And I felt like I would do that in the beginning, and it wasn't good because you're comparing yourself to someone that's been in the game for a longer time than you. There's no way you can jump from, doing something for a few months and then later on, you open up your storefront in like what, a year? It's possible, but it takes people a little bit longer. So definitely do not compare yourself. Don't even say like, what am I doing wrong? Like, no, everybody starts from somewhere. Somewhere, like, trust me, LV started from somewhere, Gucci started from somewhere. And it's all the same with every single business. We all start from somewhere. And just seeing the growth within myself, like how I'm not so shy anymore and how much my business is growing, it's crazy because it's literally, you just have to put in the work. If you put in the work every day with posting, editing, trust me, it all pays off. Literally, it all pays off. And in the moment, like in the beginning, when I barely had a little bit of followers, not a lot of people recognized me, I honestly missed that because I felt like that's what, now that I'm here, back then, this is what I would look forward to. And now that I'm here, I'm just like, wow, like sometimes you need to step back and just realize like I've grown so much and I've done all this. And sometimes you don't credit yourself enough and you need to. So now moving forward, I remember when actually a little before COVID hit, I finally decided like, okay, I need to go get my license. I see all these people that are coming to me. I'm growing so much. I need to protect myself. So obviously that's not good. I should have had my license since the beginning. So for like almost a year and a half, I didn't have my license, which is really bad. But I have it now. And that's what counts. So I ended up getting my esthetician license. I went to Aveda Institute in Dallas, Texas. I know a lot of y'all have asked me where I got my education, but I just went there to get my license. Lash-wise education, it's honestly been from so many classes I've taken. And that's another thing. You need to be able to invest in yourself. Since the beginning, I always made sure to invest in myself. Always set a few of the income that you're making into just investing yourself, because that's the way you're going to grow too. You can only do so much if you're not willing to learn. You have to be able to listen to other people and actually take their tips and see if it works on you. If it doesn't work on you, then okay, but at least you gave it a try and realized, yes, this works for me. Yes, this doesn't work for me. So that's another thing. You want to make sure you're investing in yourself. And that's another way that I grew my Instagram. And by taking other classes, I always made sure to share it with my followers. Remember, people want to know what you're doing. Also, like if they see somebody, if they compare you with somebody else and they realize like, oh, well, she just took a new class, like, maybe she has something new to offer. Like, people are always thinking about that. So they want to go to the best of the best. They want to get their money's worth. So that's another thing. You want to make sure you're posting about your classes, education that you are still getting. And that's honestly, it's really fun. You get to network with other people from your industry, and you can actually really talk and get in to learn new tips and tricks. Another thing, after I ended up getting my license, I finally graduated. And then after that, that's actually when COVID hit. Well, at least here in the US, which was, I want to say, like March 2020, and then we go on lockdown. And I know a lot of, like, in the beauty industry, a lot of business had to shut down. And I actually didn't work for like 2 to 3 months during that whole time. But luckily for me, I was still living at home and my dad pays my bills. So I didn't have to worry about that. Thank God. I know some people struggled, but during this time, I had a lot of time to think of other ways that I could promote myself. And that's when I started thinking, like, okay, what if I create my own lash brand? Like, where girls use my products and something that I truly believe in. So that's when I start ordering so many things from different lash vendors and trying out so many different products too. And I end up launching it. I end up launching it a little after we actually, I guess, get out of lockdown, you could say. But, you know, COVID was still going on. And I was like, you know what? This is going to make me a little bit of more income. That's going to be awesome. And, okay, I go live with this store. And honestly, it failed. It failed. And I was so disappointed because I felt like this was actually the first time I really failed in something with lashes. And I didn't want to tell anybody because I was like, oh my gosh, like people would ask me like, oh, how's your store going? And I would just be like, oh, it's going good. But in reality, it wasn't. I wasn't making any sales. I think when I first launched it, I only had 3 sales. And then after that, a month later, I got 1 more sale. And that was it. And I just felt so disappointed. And I was like, wow, like I bought all this product. Like, what am I going to do with it now? And I just felt like I failed, which I did. And I decided to close my online store. And I did close it. And I was stuck with all this product. But I guess the good thing is that I'm a lash artist, so I can use it. But it just felt like, you know, it's only me. So I'm not using all the products. So, yeah, I failed. And I was like, I'm never going to open a store again because I wasn't good at it. Nobody wanted to buy my stuff. And that's when I was like, you know what? I need to find another way to promote myself. And that's when like Reels started to become a thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start making these. I'm going to start making these type of like funny lash meme videos. And everybody does it on TikTok. So that's when I started making videos on TikTok and started making videos on Instagram, making them as Reels. And that's when I started really kicking in and started gaining my followers too. I started gaining followers from like all over the world. And that's when I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this product line a chance again. I'm going to try it. And the reason I wanted to give it a try again is because I really believe in my product. And just me using it, I was just so satisfied with it and I just loved it. So I was like, man, like I know other people are going to love it too. And that's when I decided to make my own website. My boyfriend actually helped me make my website because I have no idea with websites or any of that. So I started taking my pictures for my website. And that's when I realized, I was like, you know what? Like I'm going to try it again. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. And this is the last time I'm trying. I tried it and oh my gosh. I'm so glad I gave it another try and I didn't give up because now I'm able to take off a few days off because my website has me covered. And this is product that I truly believe in. And there's girls that reach out to me and they're always telling me like, I love your product. I'm so glad you came out with this. So that makes me really feel good. Me being able to help out another person that was struggling with something. And also, it's very affordable. Lash glue can usually range from anywhere from $30 to like $100. And honestly, $100 glue, it's not worth it for me. But I wanted to make a brand still affordable for everybody and still good quality. And I stand by my product line, and I am just so happy that I was able to just try again. Give myself another try. So if you feel like you failed the first time, keep trying. Trust me, it's going to pay off. So now that my products have launched and everything, this is when I decide, like, oh my gosh, like, I need to find a bigger place for myself. I'm like I can't be working from home anymore. I would love to give everybody that professionalism that you get from if you go to just a salon or anywhere besides your home. So actually, I met one of my really good friends. Her name is Angela, and I met her through Instagram. And I started getting my lashes done with her, and she started talking about like, I'm expanding my place. And at the time, since I was looking for a place, we both just kind of clicked, and we're like, you know what? Like, what if I work over here? And that's when I decided to move. And I wasn't going to be working from home anymore. So I decided to work from Fort Worth instead of Grand Prairie. It was about a 40-minute drive every day. It was a lot. But finally, I felt like I had somewhere to go. I had a job. Because working from home, I was working from 9 a.m. till like midnight. And I mean, that's not healthy. So even when I would get a break, I would go to my room and it just didn't feel like I was at home. It felt like I was at work the whole time. So now that I was able to separate work from home, it felt amazing. And I felt like I grew so much there because for about 2 years, I didn't work with somebody. I was working by myself in a room and I just had one client. So I felt like I was starting to get shy again and not wanting to talk. So working with somebody else felt nice because, oh wow, like we both do the same thing. We like the same thing. Now I have somebody to talk to and communicate with. And honestly, it's fine if you need a break and not talk to people, but we're humans. We need to talk. We need to. It's that simple. But so I stayed there for like, I want to say maybe like 6-7 months. And I felt like I wanted to expand even more. So now that I have accomplished that, so I decided to go back home. And I felt like this was a really setback for myself. And I wasn't super proud of it because it's like, why did I move? Why did I do this for? It was pointless. And soon enough, God had other plans for me. And I ended up finding my own commercial space. And whenever I found this commercial space, I completely fell in love with it. I signed. And this was, I want to say, back in 2021, maybe like July. Yes, July 2021 that I found it. And I was super excited. And during this whole time, I'm working from home, just saving up my money. That's the main reason why I moved back home, just to save up my money. And months passed by, and it's like maybe December 2021, and no progress has been made on this commercial space. I am super frustrated just because I'm already having problems with the landlord. And it just sucks because it's like I've been waiting like 6 months, a little over 6 months. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I was supposed to be in there before November. That was my goal, at least for 2021. And I mean, things happen for a reason. And that's when my boyfriend was like, you know what? I'm going to look for a space for you. And so you can get out of this other contract. And luckily for me, he found me a place within a week. And I canceled my other contract. Good thing I was able to get out of it just because they still hadn't worked on it. And now I have a bigger commercial space. And it should be open by April 1st. And I am super excited because this is literally what I have dreamed of. And just seeing the way my parents look at me and just everybody looks at me, it's like, wow, my work is actually paying off. And it barely feels now that it's starting to pay off. And I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, so just being able to now do this podcast, it's amazing. I want to reach out to different types of people, just all the type of clientele there is out there. So just seeing my journey and finally seeing like this is paying off, getting my commercial space, everything ready, and seeing this podcast come to life, it's amazing because I've been trying to work on this on my own and I haven't. So thank you to Ramon for helping me out with this, Arlette for helping me out with this too. It means the world. And I can't wait for y'all to come along the next few weeks to see all my guests I will be having here. And thank you for tuning in with me with Louder with Lou.